Workday Fun.
Fun 101.3.
Fun 101.3, farewell to Fun Week here at 101.3 FM, down to our final hour at about 9 minutes until we sign off for the last time here at 101.3 FM. And I have to say the phone lines have been lighting up like crazy, and my apologies if we have not been able to take your phone call. It has been, to say the least, chaotic here in the studio, and I know a lot of you are blowing up our Messenger on Facebook and our text messages for those of you who have that number to call us or to text us, and we appreciate that, and we'll do our best to get back to you very, very soon. But in the meantime, Dennis is back with me here in the studio, and all this week, you and Michelle have been welcoming back some familiar voices from over the years, and I know it's kind of been reading like the who's who. If you can think of those names, feel free to rattle them off.
Yeah, I mean, we had Michael C. and Patsy on yesterday, which was a big treat for a lot of people. And then we had Deb Friday. We had Justin Broca on with us. We had, I'm trying to think who else. Jim Buchanan joined us for a segment.
Yeah, Patty Banner. Linda Mesha, right? Yeah,
Diane Dayton. I think that's everybody that we had on. But it was a jam-packed show yesterday with former Fun, WROZ, NCE, all from the past at 101.3.
I have to say, I've never met Deb Friday, but we connected through Facebook when we knew that we would be able to plan a final farewell, and I reached out to her, and she shared quite a bit of the history that I wasn't even aware of and sort of helped connect the dots, and she's been an invaluable resource and continuing to post pictures as she finds them on our Facebook page, and it's really nice to be able to celebrate the heritage and the history of this radio station. So a big thank you to her for doing that. I know that this place had a very special place in her heart. One of the other things that we did on Tuesday was we brought back the sounds of 101 The WROZ from the soft rock days, and we had Tom Richards and we had Jim Butler, who has worked at the radio station since 1994, and you heard his voice quite a bit on weekends here over the years for The WROZ, and even from time to time on Fun 101.3. One of the other voices that you heard on the weekends here for a spell was Mr. Wayne Gracie, who is in the studio with us right now. How are you, Wayne?
Hey, good to see you, Ronnie.
Hi, Wayne.
Good to be here. Hey, Dennis.
It's good to
see you guys.
Good to be back here with you.
Yeah.
When I first started, before I was a full-time employee, I worked on the weekend as I was just kind of getting back into the business after being gone for 2 years, and I didn't think I was ever going to come back to the business, but you and I had the pleasure to work together on the weekends and got to know each other, and we've crossed paths before as well. You also have a bunch of radio stations that you've worked at here in the area.
Yeah, I worked at Warm 103 for like 18 years, and before that I worked in Baltimore for a couple of different stations, and I also worked for the Hanover, York Hanover station.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah. You've also been up and down the dial, and you and Dennis have a great connection here because you're wearing your Orioles baseball cap.
Yes.
Go O's. Beat them Red Sox tonight.
Wait till next year. That's terrible.
So as we talk about the history here of the radio station, if you would share with me things that maybe you think our listeners would be interested in hearing about.
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to remember. I guess when I started here, it was Tom and Val in the morning. Mm-hmm. Tom Shannon and Val.
And we forgot to mention Val Baldwin.
We had Val on.
Yes.
Yeah, we had Val on yesterday. She was great.
Yeah, and well, Patsy was working here, and Michael C. was working here after Tom Shannon left, and I spent some I guess maybe 4 or 5 more years here. I can't remember exactly how long it was, but a lot of fun. I was here, of course, as the WROZ when I was here.
Let me put you on the spot for a second, Wayne.
Yeah.
And there's no right or wrong answer. However, there are literally thousands of people listening that, depending on your answer, will either be your friend or not your friend. And that question is this. When it came time to playing Christmas music on the radio station, how did you personally feel about that?
You're talking about for real, not like yesterday.
I mean, you can feel free to gloss it over, knowing that thousands of people are listening, and your answer depends on it. And if it's not pro-Christmas, you're probably not getting out of the parking lot without damage to your vehicle.
You're probably right, but I always liked doing it for a while. Of course, as things went on, it was like the different stations competing with each other, and who could go on first with the Christmas music. And it got to be so early, it got to be a little bit ridiculous, I thought.
I think that for those of us who had to be in the studio and playing those songs, when the microphone was turned off, many times you could hear coming from the four walls in the studio, for the love of God, if I have to play Jingle Bells again.
Right. Or the donkey song.
Yes. And people were always very pro or very con. There was no in the middle. There was no gray area. You either loved that song or you loathed that song. Am I right, Dennis?
Yeah, you might have covered this earlier, but do you know the earliest date that we ever went all Christmas?
I think it was 2001. If I am correct, I am not the radio station historian, but if I am correct, it was in response to 9/11. I know that was the year that a lot of radio stations across the country decided to go to an all Christmas music format. It was more. Was it the
first week? First week in November? Second week in November?
It's likely. I mean, the time frame varied from year to year, but obviously, it became a ratings generator, as we know, and people competed to see who was going to go first to play the Christmas music.
When it started after Thanksgiving or on Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. And then, as you say, progressively got sooner, a week sooner, 2 weeks sooner. I don't know what the earliest was, maybe late October. I don't know.
It was sort of like a tennis match, by the way, when it came to the pro and the anti-Christmas people. And the anti-people, I should say, were not necessarily against Christmas. It was just the timing of when it started. Everybody had their comfort level with when they were ready for it. There were some people who were always ready for it before Thanksgiving and some people who wanted to wait until afterwards. And, we always tried to politely say, hey, if it's not your thing, you're not ready for it, you do have the option to change the channel. We hope you don't. We're in the business of ratings, but if you have to change the channel, so be it. But it was so funny because, especially in the age of social media, it was sort of like a tennis match or something where we'd be watching the right and the left side, and the ball would go back and forth between the pro and the anti starting Christmas before Thanksgiving people. And it was just kind of interesting to be a spectator in all of that and see what the people's opinions were. But the most popular opinion, I think, was when people said, hey, look, just because they're playing Christmas music doesn't mean you can't celebrate Thanksgiving, right?
Right on. Yeah. Right on.
Right.
So there you go.
Well, I think even before that happened, I mean, stations would, remember from me working, at Christmas time, you may play an occasional Christmas song.
Yeah, nobody sprinkles it in anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and that was the compromise that some of our listeners used to try to suggest is they're like, well, can you just play a little bit of it? Yeah. And the thing that research used to show year after year is either you're all in or you're not in at all. There is no in between.
Research, me church.
Yes. Well, and that's another point that I want to bring up here before we play another song here. And that is that, we have known what was happening with this radio station since right before Memorial Day. And it was at that moment that we decided that we are going to forego research. We are going to do what we thought in our gut and based on the fact that we have been in this area for all or most of our lives, what we thought people wanted out of a radio station. And shy of changing the format of the radio station, we certainly did push the envelope. And you may have noticed that over the last couple of months that we said basically what Dennis said, and that was we threw the research book out and did what we thought was going to work the best. And it paid off in dividends for us when the ratings came back. So we are certainly honored to go out on top with our target demographic here at Fun 101.3.
Let me just say, as a fellow longtime broadcaster,
yes,
and listen to different stations, that I think you guys here have sounded, to me, the best in the area in the last several months.
That means a lot coming from you.
My professional opinion.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And Wayne, we can't say enough thank you for being a part of this. It's been a privilege to work with you, and it really made me feel great when we had a chance to connect on Facebook and when you joined us last week for our finale with friends and family, and the fact that you're here with us today on our final day. Thank you so much.
Same.
Get some food on the way out.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay.
songs for Lancaster, York, and all of Central PA.
And there's more where that came from next. Fun 101.3.
Hey, it's Dennis Mitchell for Stalpers of Kissel Hill Fresh Foods.
Shop 24/7 at LancasterHyundai.com.
Broadcasting live from the wall-to-wall floor covering studios.
They have you covered from wall to wall.
WROZ FM,
Lancaster,
York,
Lebanon,
and all of Central PA.
streaming at fun1013.com.
On Amazon Echo and Google Home.
Your station for fun songs is
Fun 101.3.
Fun 101.3, farewell to Fun Week. Into the final hour now at 4:12 here. Ronnie joined by Dennis, Michelle, and Vince in the studio. We're all going to be together here with you until the very last moment that we are not together here with you in the studio. And Michelle, you got a really nice email you want to share with us?
Well, the messages have just been pouring in, the phone calls, and this is actually from my oldest daughter's math teacher. And it says, Michelle, Cheryl, I guess that's his wife, Cheryl and I spent part of our day at Longwood Gardens, and on the way there and back, listened to 101.3. While I admit it wasn't usually the first station I flipped to due to my musical taste, I value what the station meant to this community. I was saddened to hear of its sale for the sake of Central PA radio, and especially for the sake of people like you and your coworkers. Your show in the morning was local, fun, and never mean-spirited, like so many other morning shows. I wish you the best as you move forward to the next adventure. I'm sure part of that involves cheering on the section-leading Manheim Township High School tennis team. Regards, Adrian Klopp.
That's awesome. And you had me scared for just a second there when you said you got a note from the math teacher. And I'm like, dear God, Michelle, what do we have to do to help Sophie?
I'm just glad we don't have to do math.
I was going to say, you are barking up the wrong tree there. That's why I worked in radio.
I'm just hoping that I did the math correctly when I said what time it was and how much time we have until we're officially done here. And then I was like, wait, did I do that right? Did I carry the one? Did I? Yeah.
You got it right.
Oh, okay. Well,
Never use algebra in your life, kids.
And now you're going to get a second email from this math teacher.
Yeah?
No, but
That
think about
says,
it.
I'd like to take back what I said.
Back then, the math teachers were always like, oh, don't be relying on the calculator. You're not going to be able to carry it around with you everywhere. And now I carry around like 8 different devices all at once in my pocket.
Exactly.
You carry around things that confuse me, Vince.
Well, you know?
It's a generational thing, isn't it? You kids today.
We always have a calculator.
A big
Oh, I
calculator.
did get a calculator as a going away present here from the station the
Yes.
other day at our lunch.
And what did you do? You spelled boobies.
Yeah, cool.
The things we teach the kids these days. The things we teach the kids. But he did not put that calculator on eBay.
Yeah, unlike some people we know who sold their parting gift.
Okay, they had a luncheon for us, and so instead, at the Christmas party, they always do presents, but this time, Linda from the office just wrapped random things from the office and gave them away as gifts, and I ended up picking the gift that was 3 CDs, and everybody was laughing at me thinking, you know, nobody plays CDs anymore, but I went and sold them on eBay. One has sold already for $12, and I've got the other 2 still going.
Times are tough. Michelle's selling CDs for $12.
That's right, Vince.
That is what our lives have come to, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, after we're done here, we start the GoFundMe page.
I've done worse things for money.
All right.
I mean, we've got like 45 minutes left if you want to explain.
At this point, the owners are like, sell. Good thing. Just get them out of here. Just shut them up.
That already happened.
The things we learn. All right. Farewell to Fun Week. Fun 101.3.
We don't make you roll the dice. Every time you listen, you hear nothing but fun songs on the radio. We're actually a safe bet.
Fun 101.3.
Fun 101.3. Farewell to Fun Week. Down to our last 36 minutes here on the air with you at 101.3 FM. Ronnie, Dennis, Michelle, Vince here in the studio with you until we say goodbye in just a little bit. And we're going to get to some of your Facebook messages here coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Hello, Fun.
Yeah, I'll miss you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I actually just recently discovered you, and I listen to you guys at work a lot.
Yeah.
Sorry to be this way.
Yeah. We appreciate you listening.
Yeah, gonna miss you guys. Hopefully see you guys around.
All right, you
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, bye.
Fun 101.3. Farewell to Fun Week 427. We'll be signing off officially in about 33 minutes from now here at 101.3 FM. And just this reminder again that we will play one final song, and then as mandated by the Federal Communications Commission, we will play one last legal ID. And at that point, the radio station is going to go silent for a period of at least hours until probably sometime tomorrow when the new ownership will take over with a new format here at 101.3 FM. So just want to make sure you're all aware that there is going to be complete silence here for a number of hours. It's Ronnie, Dennis, Michelle, and Vince in the studio one last time. And we have a bunch of people who have been blowing up our social media with comments and sharing some of their favorite memories. And we're going to go around and read a couple of the ones here. This first one is from Nicole Hartman Bender, who says, I actually have two favorite memories. The first is a tagline your station used to do. You used to say the best music for, and then say a particular town. Anytime it came on and said 101, the best music for intercourse, it would throw me into giggles so bad I almost ran off the road a couple of times.
I mean, is it not?
I think we played that more than any other town just because it made us giggle too.
Yeah. Also, the best music for Blue Ball too, right?
Yeah. Well, you have to.
Now, it's one or the other. You cannot have both.
And then a couple years ago, I was driving through Berks County and went through Virginville, and I was like, well, I don't know how this works because it's in reverse. I've already been to Intercourse, and now I'm going through Virginville. So who came up with these town names?
With blue balls.
There's no S on the end, man.
Oops. Vince, I think you want to see somebody professionally about that. And her second favorite memory is actually relatively recent. She said, I had brain surgery in February 2020. Then the stupid quarantine hit, and we were all locked in. When Ronnie started quarantine trivia, it made me so happy. I actually got chosen as one of the question winners. It made me get my brain working. I will miss the whole team. I hope to hear you all on the air again.
That's
so thank you so much for that, Nicole.
Oh, I love that. Vince, you were a big part of that trivia too.
Yeah, I love hearing all of the stuff about the pandemic, like being able to help people. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
So, especially for me and Ronnie, like doing like most of the social media,
Guys,
that stuff is cool to hear.
There's moments in this career that you think, I'm just a DJ. Like, nobody cares what I do. And then you hear things like that, and you're like, you know what? I guess I
well, yeah, and
kind of did serve a
especially-
purpose of what we've been doing all these
And
years.
especially like during the beginning of the pandemic, because like, truth be told, we all really thought like no one was listening because no one was going to work, no one was in offices. So we're like, there's nobody really listening. But it turns out there were people listening. They were.
Should we be honest now before we get to 5 o'clock and tell everybody that we're just kidding, that we are not going anywhere, that this has been one big scam so that we could get validation?
I said this to Michelle about an hour ago.
That would be the most amazing
That would be a plot twist for a series finale. It's all a dream, like Newhart.
If any other radio stations are listening, this would be a very good promotion idea because we've got a lot of love and attention from this.
April Fool's next year. Somebody's going to do it.
Maybe.
Who wants to go next?
Speaking of April, I've got one from April.
Okay.
You all just seem to have a good time together. It makes one feel good when they're stuck in traffic or whatever, to listen to laughs and someone that truly enjoys their job. All the best to you, and thank you so much for the many years of great music and entertainment.
Nice. I got one from Emily. She said, I will always have a great memory of this radio station. In 1996, I was in 6th grade, and I was able to come in there with a few classmates and record a commercial for Darren Camps. I still have the tape that was given to us. Good luck to the hosts and best of wishes. I bet Tom Richards probably helped them record that commercial. That's kind of cool.
There is probably a good chance of that, and now we're about to go the way of Darren Camps and be a memory here in central Pennsylvania.
How about that?
Have you guys ever heard my full circle story with the radio station?
No. Share it.
So one day I was going through a box of old cassettes that are over in the production room where Tom usually works.
Explain what a cassette is to anybody who might not know.
Who's younger than I am. Yeah, this cassette is something that I've never listened to music on. But they actually had the cassette tape of my 2nd grade class reading the Pledge of Allegiance, and I had it up on my desk for like ever, and I took it home.
No
with me. Yeah.
way.
So it is like complete like.
That's a cool story.
Yeah.
Did you always have the deep voice, Vince?
Always, since I've been like 2 years old. It was like that.
You think of smoking
elf
at a young
where it's
age.
like, you can't be an elf. You've had hair on your chest since you were 15 years old. It's just, yeah.
All right.
Buddy, hope you find your dad.
Hope you find your dad. I've got a message here from Mike who said, sadly, I only recently discovered you guys and it's made work so much better. I'm very sad to hear you guys are going away. If it's not too much, I'd love to hear. And then he asked for a song, which we're going to try to find for you if we can here before we wrap up.
Yeah, I mean, thank you to all the new listeners. We appreciate you so much. And we want to make it clear that it's nothing you did. It's nothing we did. We're leaving number one.
Mm-hmm.
So the ratings were good. Everything was good. This was out of any of our control.
Yeah.
Going out on top does feel better than, going out
with our heads down
with our
and
heads,
going, well, let's just get out of here before anybody sees us.
I do love the fact that when the last ratings period came out, we were number one. I was like, all right, that's kind of cool.
It's validation for us. It really
we're going
is.
out like Seinfeld.
He was number one.
We're going out like Seinfeld, but don't count the finale episode if you're going to say that, right?
Well, I just hope that when people look back at series finales that we don't get ranked as one of the worst ones and we have to reunite in 10 years and do this again just to make good on the fact that we had a terrible series finale.
Brian Knepp just chimed in. He said, you're killing me with a never-ending story. Killing me.
That's what this is designed to do.
Yeah.
We're touching on all the emotions today. We really are. We've saved the best for last, I guess. And we're getting close to that now. 4:34 right now. We're going to play a couple more songs and share a few more memories with you before we say our final farewells here at Fun 101.3.
It's Farewell to Fun Week.
Fun 101.3.
This part of the program brought to you by Kleenex. Get them out because you're going to need them.
You're taking me back to my country roots, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Little Garth.
You know, you should
I don't know that song.
You have to know that song.
You should totally
I worked
quickly...
in country, but
should-
Ronnie, I worked in country, but only from 2001 to 2002, so I only know the songs from that 1 year.
I feel like Dennis should at least tell the story about the days when you and I worked at 105.7 and our sister station was Z107.
Yeah.
And who should call on the phone?
Garth called all the time.
Yeah.
Garth was really good friends with our music director, Dandelion.
The late, great Dandelion.
So you never knew when you were picking up the phone in that building who was going to be on the other end of the line. It was like, hello, and you'd hear, hey, this is Garth. Is Dandy there? What?
And at first we're like, okay, who's messing with us? And it was really Garth Brooks calling for Dandelion.
Absolutely.
So there you go. There's our quick Garth story for you. And Michelle, I guess you didn't watch the finale when Leno signed off for the second time because Garth actually performed that song. That was his last song.
Guess you missed that, Michelle.
Okay.
I was doing the morning show, so I was like going to bed early.
I was busy working.
So that was years ago. It's going to take me a while to catch you up here. We might have to stay past 5. Just saying. We're winding down here in just a little bit. It's 4:43 right now.
The clock is moving too fast.
The clock's
really
been moving
is.
fast all day.
It really is. I was going to try to say that I can't tell time, but unfortunately it's not one of those clocks that has the hands on it. It actually is a digital clock. So I guess I won't be able to get away with that as my excuse for why we would stay past 5 o'clock. But has anybody...
Didn't they say 5 o'clock Central?
Perhaps. I don't know if that was clear. Has anybody confirmed? I mean, did you hear any barking in the building? Like, if we're not out by 5:01, do they release the hounds or what?
I think there's going to be lasers that go across the floor that you have to either go under or over to get out.
Like Squid Game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, wrap this up, people, wrap this up. I mean, there's a producer out there that's kind of like twirling their hands saying to wrap it up here soon.
Player 1013 has been eliminated.
Yes, it's about to happen. It's about to happen. And again, thank you all for everything today. I mean, we are all mentally and physically exhausted. It's been quite a couple of weeks for us as we were preparing for these final moments here with you on the air. But we wouldn't have it any other way. And again, I'm so glad that we're all here together for this as we head into the final moments. Now, last week we did a little farewell with some friends and family over at Mad Chef Craft Brewing. And we had a listener who brought a beautiful cake.
Danica.
It was not sanctioned by this radio station.
Correct.
It was Danica Shirey, who was a finalist on The Voice. And she we gave her a lot of support back in the day for votes, and she still appreciates that to this day and brought us this beautiful cake.
It was
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah, that cake was really good too.
And before we cut the cake, we broke out without any rehearsal into an impromptu a cappella version of a song. And we're going to do a quick little line for you here, totally also unrehearsed.
Oh, really? We're going to sing?
So, no. We really are going to sing here for people. And this may start the hounds barking if they really are somewhere in the building here, because this could be a train wreck. But before we go any further, the four of us would like to serenade you with a line from a song. So let's do that.
I'm not starting because I'm singing harmony.
Okay, here we go. Ready? And
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
And now, before Boys to Men sends a cease and desist, here we go. Fun 101.3, farewell to Fun Week has just about come to an end. 4:49 right now. We're going to play one song, and then the four of us are going to come back and share our final thoughts with you, our wonderful and valued listeners. So stay here with us for that. But right now, we bring you this. Fun 101.3, farewell to Fun Week is just about to wrap up. I guess before we go any further, real quick, we're going to need these. Let's pass out the tissues.
Pass them around. Here you go. Do you need one?
Thank you.
I did my crying last night, but I should be all right.
I want to remind everybody that if you hear any sniffles from me, it's allergy season. Let's go with it. And also, before we get to our final thoughts and play one last song for you here at the radio station, just this reminder one more time of what's going to happen here on this frequency. We will share our final thoughts with you. We're going to play that last song. We're going to play one last official legal identification, and then we are going to go silent at 101.3 FM for a number of hours, and possibly sometime tomorrow. My understanding is that the new owners of the radio station will take over with a brand new format for Central Pennsylvania. So that is what you are going to be looking forward to. So again, when you hear silence on the radio station over the next couple of hours, that is intentional. So we'd appreciate it if you, don't reach out and tell us, because we are aware that that's what's going to happen.
Please don't message the Facebook page.
And also, we have been the voices and the faces of the radio station these last couple of years, but there are so many wonderful people that we work with, people, quote unquote, behind the scenes here at the radio station, who have done phenomenal work. And without them, we would not have been in business. And I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge some of them. And I hope that we don't miss any of the names of the people, because many of them are here with us right now. So let's start with our general sales manager, who has been here since 1982, I believe, Mr. Lauren Good, who has been a phenomenal leader in the community, very loved by advertisers, who's done a phenomenal job working with a variety of business clients here at the radio station over the years. We couldn't have done it without you. Thank you also to our chief engineer, Mr. Ed Monsky, who is also a longtime employee here. We've all been in the radio business for a while, and we know engineers sometimes get a bad rap. But Ed has been a world-class engineer, and it's been a privilege to work with him over the years. Thank you to Linda Weidman, who is what we refer to as our traffic director, who is in charge of scheduling all of the commercials and does a lot of paperwork here involving our clients. And today is Linda's birthday. And so it's a little bittersweet.
She got the creepy Keith C. Wright's birthday song earlier.
She did get a creepy song, didn't she?
Yeah.
Thank you to somebody who is now officially retired, but for a very long time was an account executive here at the radio station, Ms. Sue Stipe, who is like a mother figure to a lot of us. And if there are any older single gentlemen listening, she is very eligible. If you've ever seen The Golden Girls and you can relate to the character of Blanche, Sue is your lady, and sometime maybe she'll tell the story about how she broke a bed.
Oh,
that's all I'm going to say. I'm sorry. Final moments, we talk about this stuff.
Wow.
Thank you to somebody who has been like a sister to me here in all of the years, Casey Ober, who has been a rock for all of us. Anything we've ever needed, she has been there to do it for us, and we wouldn't be where we are without her. She has just been our sanity over the years, and we really do appreciate that. Thank you to Darlene Black, one of our account executives, and Darlene's been here since right before Sue retired, and continued to work with a lot of the advertisers who Sue had worked with in previous years. And Darlene has got so much pep, and I know that she's got continued success in her future as well, and we have really enjoyed our time working with you. One of the sweetest people you would ever want to meet. So thank you to Darlene. To our business manager, Jennifer Garcia, who has always had a smile on her face, has always been such a ray of sunshine for this radio station. And thank you for making sure that we've been paid over the years to keep the lights on. As we've said over and over again, it's not a lot of money, but for some reason we were able to survive on it. So thank you for making sure of that. And thank you for becoming a wonderful friend. She makes a mean mixed drink, and I can't wait to have the next one over at the gathering that I'm going to invite myself to. And you're all welcome, too. I'm just going to go ahead and say that on her behalf. A lot of other people, too, that I want to acknowledge and thank. Mr. Tom Richards, who, as you heard earlier, has been with this company for a very long period of time. So thank you to Tom and everybody else. I mean, I could go on and on and on. There are so many people who have touched our lives, but we want to get to our final thoughts here and share those with you. And Michelle is going to go first.
Yeah, and I want to thank Fran Baldwin, who's here representing the Baldwin family. Of course, all of us are here because of Bill Baldwin. So thank you very much. I want to say thank you to all the listeners, and I want you to be happy. I'm happy, super thankful to have had this opportunity to all say goodbye and go through this together.
So I was holding it together the entire time until I turned around and saw Fran. So, wow. Bill, he's the reason we're all here. So, wow, I really thought I was going to keep it together. I can't believe I'm not keeping it together. But anyway, thank you, everybody. The listeners have been amazing over the years. Michelle, I love you. You're my best friend in the world. And let's do coffee every week, can we?
Love you.
Vince?
I just want to say thank you to all the listeners. You three, Dennis, Michelle, Ronnie, especially. I cried last night on air, so I don't need to cry again on air. But everybody out there, thank you for listening over the 7 years that I've been here. It's been amazing.
I was good at keeping it together until last night when I opened up my Instagram page, and I did share this on my Facebook page. The folks at Lancaster County Community Foundation dedicated yesterday to me. And they used the words local legend, and I kind of lost it. And I'm not sure if it was that I lost it particularly because people thought that highly of me and all that I've done here in the community, which was my honor to do that, by the way, or if it was because I'm now freaking old, and that's why.
Yeah.
So there was a moment that I had to look in the mirror, and I'm like, gray hairs be damned. But you know, this has been an incredible experience for me. This has been a ride. We've had ups and downs here. There's no doubt about that. We've had some really high ups and we've had some very low downs, but through it all, we have stuck together. We've done this as a team. I love each and every one of you. I'm thankful that you've all come into my lives. This has been 15 years of life. None of us know what tomorrow holds. And that's true for everybody in this room. That's true for everybody listening right now. The most important thing is that you savor each and every day that you're able to be on this earth. You take advantage of that. You be kind to each other. You love each other. You respect each other. And you keep doing you, most importantly. If you have a chance to live your dream, if you have a chance to dream and follow your dream, please do that. We've had a chance to do that. We've lived a dream that we've had in most of our instances since we were very young. We were fortunate to do it for a wonderful company and wonderful people. It has been our privilege. It has been our pleasure to entertain you, to inform you all of these years. And we could not have gotten through this without all of you and your support. And in this very last moment, I just want to say thank you immensely from the bottom of my heart. And I know everybody else shares that very same sentiment here in this room. And we are going to go on and do life, and God only knows where that's going to lead us, but we are never going to look back and regret what we have done here. And we are so appreciative of this final time with you. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. You have been wonderful. Take care. And we will see you around at some point.
Broadcasting live from the wall-to-wall floor covering studios. They have you covered from wall to wall. WROZ FM.
Lancaster, York, Lebanon, and all of Central PA.
Streaming at fun1013.com.
On Amazon Echo and Google Home.
Your station for fun songs is
Fun 101.3.